hello, all you positive heads out there. It's so good to be back with all you beautiful reflections of the one source consciousness that creates and animates all things. If you're new to this podcast, of course, we are super happy to have you here, and we just ask that you bring an open mind and heart to your listening experience and to be prepared to explore vantage points that I'm convinced will help shift or solidify your current understanding of the ultimate nature of reality. While listening, you'll be exposed to inspiring, empowering, and unifying perspectives that I'm highly confident will yield stellar results in your life if you opt to try them on for size. Also, at optimistic.tv, we have officially begun releasing the first few episodes of our new late-night style, consciousness-elevating video variety talk show, Optimistic, which features live visionary art, soul share interviews, retreat guests here at the Mystic Manor, as well as live musical performances. I'm also super excited to announce that we are currently making plans to release the rest of Season 1 on my personal favorite online streaming service. So stay tuned to optimistic.tv to follow the unfolding development of this exciting Optimistic expansion, as we'll be posting more info and release dates there soon. And in the meantime, be sure to check out, of course, the first few episodes at optimistic.tv as well.
All right, all you positive heads, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today, I kind of waffled around about what we were going to talk about today, but the theme always went back to creation. And I'm actually in the process of writing my book. If you've been listening to this podcast for a while, you've maybe heard me talk about it. I've been talking about it for 4 years, and I had a little hiatus there with a baby and all. And so I'm finally getting back to it, and it's really exciting. I'm having a really good time with it, and I'm working on it maybe a couple hours a day, the days that I can work on it. And I can't wait to share it with you. It's going to be really good. And I was going to share a little bit of it with you today. The first chapter, actually, which is about creation. And there's just so much material, and I'm really just putting it all together. And so I felt like that was going to be a lot for me today. And so I had the Bird Tribes book, and it's funny, this book has been coming up all week. If you listen to Tuesday's episode with Samantha and I, it was like calling me to bring it for our episode on Tuesday. And today it did the same thing. And so I was like, all right. And so I picked it up and I opened up to a chapter, which is chapter 17, called Medicine Wheel of Eternal Being. And it's exactly what I wanted to talk about today. So it's been since May, I think, since I picked up the Bird Tribes to read a full chapter. So here we are again. We're going to read chapter 17 of Return of the Bird Tribes by Ken Carey. Medicine Wheel of Eternal Being. When you examine the nature of that pure essence of beauty behind the perfection of both masculine and feminine, you find God. Because at the source, at the core, at the heart of all that is feminine is God. And at the heart, at the core, at the source of all that is masculine is God. The same God, the one, the Great Spirit. Such is the nature of God. God is indescribably beautiful, indescribably wonderful, indescribably precious, powerful, gentle, real. God is these qualities to such a perfect extent that God's only challenge is to pursue description of such indescribable perfection. So the Great Spirit picks a place in the infinite ocean of space, draws a line, and calls it time. Then, making the first distinction, God says, "This line separates everything that happened before I drew this line from everything that happened after I drew this line." And God takes all the qualities and potentialities of eternal being and places their centers on either one side of the line or the other. These qualities continue to pulsate on both sides of the great distinction. Their radiations permeate all that is. Nowhere is without them. but the centers from which they radiate are assigned places on either side of the Great Line. On one side of the line, God designed structures to identify specific locations in the sea of infinite being. Atoms of each intention, a consciously created system for cultivating and regulating its particular field of space. On this side of the line that God calls time, bleeds through all that is feminine, material, actualized structure. Here lies all that is created, everything that exists, the stars and the planets. This is the tonal, the body of the great mother universe, home of every star and every world. The other side of the line is the Negual. Here remains all that will be created. Here are the patterns of new creation and the energy that will draw the new creation out of the infinite reservoir of eternal potential, from the designing intelligence of the one who is ever becoming revealed. Yet, the line that God has drawn to define the sea of space is not a rigid, linear boundary. It is a living reality, spiraling like a thread in and out of the created realms. Around and around the circumference of every nameable thing, it coils and spins, weaving a fine luminous cloth, the filmiest of screens, an invisible membrane. At each point where it touches the dimensional universe, incredible creation occurs. Stars are created, galaxies congeal, white holes appear, black holes, quasars, arching starbows. In a multitude of awesome ways, energy pulses through from the masculine side of the great spirit divide into the body of Mother Universe. In this way, the purpose and the passion of the Creator are served. The entire universe becomes a joyous journey through love, an adventure, a challenge to describe the infinite wealth of invisible beauty, to give it texture, tone, and light, to make it visible. Creatures of beauty come into form, not just isolated creatures of beauty, but creatures of beauty, each living in a larger landscape of beauty, and not just landscapes alone. Landscapes resting within picture planets, framed in spiraling systems of stars that are themselves set like living diamonds in a galaxy, floating among 100 billion more, giving each creature a background, each picture a frame, and all living art a context that accentuates what is most beautiful. Division into stellar and planetary polarities is the physical mechanism of this awesome creation, the manner in which the infinite potential of God in all its splendor is revealed. Stellar and planetary polarities are not opposites. They are complementary ends of a single vibrational continuum, ends of a unified spectrum that begin back to back at a common point on the great medicine wheel, and then move apart, each to complete nearly, but not quite, the full 180 degrees of their respective halves of the whole. Just short of meeting, they stop to face each other, 359 degrees of the wheel complete. They pause then, allowing the charge between them to build and grow until there comes the spark of lightning that completes the full 360-degree circle of the medicine wheel in the illumination that here clothes you in biological form. There is design in both matter and energy, just as there is design encoded in the genetic structure of ovum and sperm. The design that enters the Earth's atmosphere on the rays of light from this nearest star calls to the potential of this material world. The stellar stream touches her deepest ocean dreams and sings lovingly to the longing in her soil. The information contained in the elemental forces of the earth mingles with the spirit information of the solar wind, as feminine and masculine polarities of the eternal one play together and interact in the biosphere of E Tenoya. Sunlight impregnates the earth. Solar sperm and ocean ovum mingle. The sun teaches the earth his song, and the earth teaches the sun hers. The sun tries to sing her song and laughs, and the earth tries to sing a sun song and creates blue sky, white clouds, and a world of scurrying creatures below. Our spirit information blends with the material information of soil, water, wind, and sky. The gestation of the terrestrial child is catalyzed. Creatures rise up on the spiraling winds of our vibrating love. Feeling our song, they live, breathe, and dance out the patterns of our interaction. Spinning in starlight, the earth learns a new image of herself. She releases her rock formations to flow into waving forests, leaping deer, grazing buffalo, sleeping lizards in the sun. Particles of her matter are given wing and flutter and sing on the winds of the solar spirit. The earth releases who she is to become the life dancing upon her surface, flowing, ever flowing into the blossoming patterns of her potential. From the realms of higher vibration, where forms are subtle and have no material density, the angels of the bird tribes descend. We seek to discover how we might most effectively and creatively clothe ourselves, and thereby the Creator's intentions in the matter of this world. We watch our leaping flames of fire lifting the rocks on her surface, rising beneath the density of her structure, growing as the seasons pass and our love deepens into forests waving in the wind, teeming children, animals of starfire, clothed in the beautiful feminine crystalline latticework of the material plane. Dialogue between masculine and feminine aspects of the Great Spirit has been going on in this universe for 20 billion years. The creation that has appeared as a result of this dialogue has appeared on each vibrational frequency of manifestation in turn, with degrees of specificity and precision on each frequency directly related to the quality and clarity of the exchange among the embodied representatives of male God and female God, who there come into being. Once they come into form, embodied representatives of God become the primary means of all future creation on the frequencies where they appear. They are the specified, intelligent, and co-creative paintbrushes of the universal artist, living, participating art. It was long prophesied, even before the foundations of this material world upon which you now stand, that a day would come when the loving interaction of a planet and a star would bring into being autonomous, self-replicating, intelligent creatures, biological creatures, male and female, after the Creator's image and likeness. These would become not only our participants in this continuing process of divine unfoldment, but also henceforth the leading cutting edge in all further physical plane creation. They would understand and embody the balance. They would comprehend the nuclear energy of stars, as well as the geological formations of crystals in the heart of the mountains. They would understand organic chemistry, nuclear biology, astronomy, and all the sciences. They would be incarnate in bodies, physical forms that were beautiful to look at, graceful to behold, living works of art themselves, defined as biological control rooms, mind-brain planning centers for exploring and developing ways and means that the potential of this universe could continue to unfold. They would become the instruments through which all future biological creation would occur. On the level of this earth, in the late 20th century of the present era, there are biological creatures of female and male human form at either side of this profound interface between the masculine and feminine aspects of God. The same division between eternal unity that has the power to bring stars into existence 10,000 times the size of your sun, that same creative charge exists between the human female and the human male. In a healthy state, the power of this creative energy is immense. Consciously channeled, it can be used to create beauty of an unprecedented order, of a nature surpassing all that came before, making visible the invisible beauty of God. Never before on the material plane has dialogue between divine masculine and divine feminine had the potential to be as clear, as concise, and as conscious as it can be between the men and women of your human family. When male and female meet on the medicine wheel, they each carry a distinct creative charge. Though their roots weave together and spring from the same source in the same great spirit, they incarnate on earth to face one another with distinct sexual charges, profoundly attracted, with immense capacity to create through the universal power of the love that can flow between them. Each woman swims in an energy current, a tradition as distinct from the traditions of men as the very first creative division of God. Though you men and women have lived together in the same lodges and felt beneath your feet the earth of the same villages, though you have shared the same interpretations and slept together in the same illusions, you are each at distinctly different points on the great medicine wheel. Yet as different as these points are, they are profoundly compatible, designed differently to stimulate maximum creativity. They are the very points where God meets God. To we who have followed this process for 20 billion years, there is nothing more incomprehensible than the concept, which is entertained in the warrior societies, that there could be conflict or opposition between the feminine aspect of God and the masculine aspect of God. Do you realize how severely this concept limits you who accept it? You will not find your place in this universe or form of basis for understanding her mysteries until you shed such superstition and realize that Mother God and Father God are profoundly in love. All about this universe that is feminine worships what is masculine, and the sole purpose of all about this universe that is masculine is to serve the feminine through the celebration and animation of the beauty that lies in her heart. Feminine and masculine are balanced in all healthy manifestation, equal partners, lovers, the truest twin friends. Your ancestral programming is invalid. Primitive notions of conflict between male and female lead to not so primitive weapons. Let your human world reflect, instead, the truth of the great love in which you are every moment suspended. Awaken into a new perception and understanding of reality. Reality, not as misinterpreted by the warrior tribes, but as understood by all the angelic races of God throughout eternity. Awaken into an accurate perception of the universe in which you live. You are the love of the Creator embodied in human form. Through the power of your love, you create. You are here in the service of universal art to create beauty and to enjoy all that has been created. The evocation of beauty and the description of truth. This is your purpose, the purpose of life, the very purpose of the universe. In its own way, each species decides how it can best serve this purpose once it understands it. The buffalo looks around and notices what's going on in prairie time and prairie space and decides a life to describe truth and to animate beauty as buffaloes understand it. Whales describe time and space in their own unique forms of three-dimensional mobility, playing and swimming through the seas of sound and light. The caribou embody their understanding of the universe and create caribou beauty. Seagulls embody their understanding and create seagull beauty. Angels embody their understanding of this universal purpose and become the means through which the Great Spirit creates more species to enjoy it. Throughout the galaxies, throughout the stars, all of the angelic races notice this purpose of life and decide how they can best serve. Each healthy species looks at the external world while experiencing the internal unity, whole and unbroken, and forms an idea of the wholeness of manifest life. This is its comprehension of the universe. Human beings' technical comprehension of the universe has expanded beyond the caribou or the whales. They've explored the microbes and begun to reach out to the stars. Yet, your historical rejection of eternal spirit has left you myopic, nearsighted, with no overview or larger vision to help you organize your knowledge into a coherent whole. You are the instruments through which creation is to become physically conscious, the species through whom one day the whole material universe shall become aware. You are God's organs of awareness, awakening, in this turning age from the sleep of historical subconsciousness. Masculine and feminine are both rooted in the unified divinity whose spirit now awakens in you, whose identity you now remember to be your own. In spirit, you are not separate from these two aspects of God, but have brought them into being from the infinite ocean of your wholeness, to clothe yourself, to know yourself as this family in time. Creation brought into being through the loving interaction of these, your own inner polarities. How about that, y'all? Bird Tribes never, ever disappoints. And I just love this understanding and this very beautifully poetic way to understand the balance within ourselves and also how immensely powerful we are. And in case you needed the reminder, I'm going to go back and read a little passage that I love so much to remind you. You are the love of the Creator embodied in human form. Through the power of your love, you create. You are here in the service of universal art to create beauty and to enjoy all that has been created. The evocation of beauty and the description of truth. This is your purpose, the purpose of life, the very purpose of this universe. That's right, everyone. That is your reminder for today. The very purpose of this life is to recognize and accept the love that we are. Understand that we are powerful creators and live this living art that we're creating and enjoy every little second of it. And we do that when we accept who we really are, which is immense love, immensely powerful creative being. That is your reminder for this beautiful day today. I love you all so, so much. I'm going to leave you with a song. This is Sat's song, Go Fly, featuring Tim Snyder. Until next time, I love you all.
Also, before we cue up today's song, I wanted to remind you about the game with the universe on our website, where you can choose the first number that comes to your mind and it'll pull up that episode number of the podcast. I've been saying this is a great way to co-create synchronicity and magic with your higher self for quite some time. And if you go to positivehead.com/universe, there is a super fun and simple interface to play this game with your higher self. I firmly believe just by setting the intention to play in this way, it opens up the door for magic, and it's a synchronistic way to hone in on nuggets of wisdom out of the huge catalog of episodes that are specifically appropriate for you at this time in your journey to becoming the next greatest and greatest version of yourself. And it also makes for a super fun way to spark the curiosity of friends and family by having them choose a number, so they'll hopefully go and check out their number as well, which I greatly appreciate because it helps us to spread the word about the podcast. Once again, the address is positivehead.com/universe. And as a quick reminder, if you're curious to learn more about Purium superfoods and why I take them almost every day, be sure to also check out positivehead.com/transformation. On this journey of becoming the next greatest and grandest version of ourselves that we have all embarked upon, I cannot stress the importance of managing your physical vibration enough. And quite honestly, Purium has put together the simplest plan I've found to do so. I have my favorite, the appleberry shake, at least 5 times a week. Once again, to learn more about the Purium transformation, go to positivehead.com/transformation. Or if you want to keep it simple and just try out my favorite, the appleberry shake, you can go straight over to ishoppurium.com and be sure to use code positivehead for 25% off. I'll spell that for you. It's ISHOP PURIUM.com. And be sure to use your Positive Head 25% coupon code.
I've been waiting for the day when everyone will say enough. Well, and the stars will all align and we'll see that we don't need their stuff. No, but that day it hasn't come. When it does, I'll be the one who sings to the spirit and the people that not only are we equal, we have wings. Said you might not remember, before you were born you could fly, and you will once again in this life or after you die. But you can learn to do it here, but you must cast away the fear and just go fly. Go fly. Well, I said these moments keep collecting, they make my soul keep resurrecting. I say, oh my. Now mantras for protection, and with careful selection they'll apply. Is this exactly how it is? That this is hers and this is his? I don't think. But it ain't my place to figure out, so I'll just pay attention in between the links. I said you might not remember, before you were born you could fly, and you will once again in this life or after you die. But you can learn to do it here, but you must cast away the fear and just go fly. Go fly. I've been burning up a ways, and I'm still learning how to pray and how to guide. Well, I found my balance in reflection and my perfect imperfections. What's alright? Well, our impermanence is perfect, and it will work if you just work it. This is true. Keep marching parallel with ground, and I keep on praying with this sound. Now how about you? I said you might not remember, before you were born you could fly, and you will once again in this life or after you die. But you can learn to do it here, but you must cast away